In this video, we'll take a look at our sample dial core config file and explore how to set up access control and rate limits. To understand how permissions work, let's first take a look at the JSON config structure. We'll ignore routes for now. At the top level, we have the 4 dial abstractions: add-ons, assistants, applications, and models. Permissions and limits can be defined for all entities inside these 4 abstractions. Next, we have keys and roles. Let's actually start with roles. We can see that we have 3 roles defined: a mandatory default role, and additionally role 1 and role 2. Inside each role, we can define per minute and per day limits for each of the entities defined in the above sections. The default role must have limits assigned for each entity, with additional roles allowing you to overwrite these. The keys section allows us to assign API keys to specific projects and roles. This can be used to restrict programmatic access to specific models or applications. Finally, we can dive into the models block to see how roles can be used to restrict access. In this example, we see that ChatGPT 3.5 Turbo is only assigned for roles 1 and 2. A user who does not have access to any of these roles assigned to them would not have access to any of these models. For user role management, Dial integrates with a software called Keycloak. In Keycloak, we create different groups, which are mapped to the roles in Dial's config file, and these are passed in the access token. By adding a user to a group, we indicate to Dial that the user has this role and should have access to all the role's permissions. Let's take a look at a real example. I'm going to add myself to the Wolfram group on Keycloak, and you can see that I'm granted access to the Wolfram add-on in my Dial instance when I sign back in. Thank you.